The other day, I was scrolling on Instagram and I came across this account, and the woman was selling a manifestation technique, or she was selling her like healing protocol. And she showcased a photo of herself when she was a little bit heavier, like she still was gorgeous, but a little heavier and single. And then the after, that was the before. The after was her like in this really snatched body, and someone had proposed to her. And she is someone who I follow, and her whole story is wrought with perfectionism. And it's like, before I was heavy and I was this and I was that and I was single, and now I have a perfect body and I have the perfect marriage. And I'm not here to judge her. Like, whatever she's doing, that's great. That's her life. What intrigued me is how we are so easily sucked in by the dangling of the shiny thing of the grass is greener over here. Like, you're wrong if you have a little bit of weight on you. You're wrong if you're single. You're wrong if your life doesn't look perfect. And they may even say in their copy, you know, to love yourself as you are, all of these things, but they're selling an end result. If you do this, then you'll get this. And it's not untrue that when we start to integrate a new way of being, our lives will shift drastically. We may bring in more money, more clients, a better job, a relationship. Like, all of those things are accurate. The truth is, though, if you can't fall in love with yourself right now in this present moment and your unique journey, because my journey is never going to look like her journey, your journey is never going to look like my journey, your journey is never going to look like Tinkerbell's journey. Your journey is your journey. And what we're sold is the next level identity, the next version of yourself, like the perfect life, the perfect body, the perfect relationship. How fucking boring is that? And yet, because we're wired and conditioned for better, for more, for perfect, for making sure we're doing the quote unquote right thing, we chomp at the bit for, I'm going to do the thing that's going to get me the thing, rather than, I'm going to do things that light me up and make me feel juicy, connected, expansive, and free, and like filled with life force energy, right? That's the way to live. Hello and welcome to the Yarrow K way of healing, expanding, spiritually transforming, and mastering energetics. I am Yarrow K, spiritual mentor, leadership guide, nervous system genius, clinically trained therapist, and all around energetic sorceress, which literally means I'm a master of energetics. So clearly, I guide you to feel safe in your body, to create a life that feels how you want it to feel, to be the composer of your life, to create the most beautiful symphony you could ever imagine. And how I'm different than most people is that I'm not trying to get you to get something. I want you to fall so deeply in love with you, with your being, your breath, your heart, your soul, your spirit, your energetic vibration, like the unique energetic vibration of you. Because we are all different, energetically different. And a lot of people will sell you your desired reality, but I believe we are often chasing a quote unquote desired reality that is sold to us. So many times you'll be on Instagram, right? And you'll see people traveling or living this certain life or having this kind of relationship. And you're so unbelievably disconnected from yourself that you actually don't even know if that's what you want. You just think you should want that, or that looks better than the current existence that you're living in. And so you think you want that. Every time I have pulled my energy back into me and started to create a life that feels how I want it to feel, and I'm doing things that actually light up me, I feel so much better. And then when I see those things on Instagram or in magazines or wherever, not that we really buy or look at magazines anymore, do you? I'm curious. I used to have like a collection of fashion magazines. I loved them so much. One time I was moving from Chicago to New York City, and my boyfriend and I were moving together, my boyfriend at the time, and I made him carry all of these magazines to New York City. Like, he was so pissed off. He's like, "Yeah, are you kidding?" I'm like, "They're my collection of magazines. Like, they're like my friends." There was like all these old Vogues and like Glamour and Harper's Bazaar, like all these beautiful magazines, like the fashion, the fall fashion ones. Oh, I loved them so much. And this is a perfect example because once I moved to New York City, which is like the mecca for fashion, I actually didn't buy magazines anymore. I didn't need to. I didn't need to scratch that itch because I was immersed in that world in New York City. So here's the thing, we are sold something that we desire, but we don't even know if we actually desire it because we don't always actually even know ourselves that well. And we have been conditioned to look outside of ourselves, to want the job, the career, the relationship, the kids, the house. Like we've been conditioned to want certain things, or maybe you've rebelled against that and then you're like go the total opposite of that, and then you actually come back to the center and go, wait, what's actually true for me? Did I just push that away because I was rebelling against it, or was it authentic for me? Like actually knowing what feels true for you is a radical act of courage because you have so much trauma conditioned into your like wired into your nervous system that you don't know is there because it's been there for generation after generation after generation after generation. And then you have unprocessed emotion because literally no one teaches us how to be with emotion, right? And so it stores in your body because, and then you develop stories about it. You start to tell narratives about it rather than actually feeling and processing it through your body. So that gets stored in there. So then you're defending against that. You have shame for thinking you're quote unquote wrong because if we don't do the thing we think we're supposed to do, we think we're wrong. And then we have all this shame stored in our body. And when you avoid your shame, you avoid yourself. When you avoid your shame, you avoid yourself. And just sit with that for a minute. Where are the ways in your life that you have done something that you don't think you quote unquote should, and then you have had shame about it, but you don't know how to be with the shame? So then you defend against the shame and you project out and make others wrong. It could even be like judging other people for living a quote unquote normal life because you were the one who did something different, and you judge them because you feel like you're wrong. There is a lack of full acceptance of you and who you are and who you're being and how you're living your life. And this is what's changing in our world right now. However, we've gone through this era where it's like we've been sold this shiny carrot that we chase after, like we should want that thing, right? This is what we're supposed to want, like more, right? The luxury travel, the first class flights, and maybe you do want those. I definitely want first class flights, but like we're sold something that we don't even know if we actually want it. We don't even know what's true for us. And actually getting to the place of what is true for us is going to take having someone holding a mirror up for you and actually helping guide you on your journey, right? Because also, like, we will resist the things that come into our life, the difficult relationship. We'll shame ourselves, like, oh, why is this happening to me? Instead of going, okay, what's gold? Where's the gold here? Am I just attaching? Do I need to learn to set a boundary? Is there some pain that's not been processed from my body that this is constellating out of me so that I get to process this pain, so that I get to be free from this pain, so that I get to move on? There are so many different things that a relationship could bring out of us, but if we don't have effective guidance, we're just going to spin around in shoulds and blame ourselves and shame ourselves and make the other person wrong because we don't know how to actually look at the really exciting material that's coming forward. If we're in a job that we don't like, where do I need to learn my better leadership skills, better communication skills? Where am I not showing up? Where do I have entitlement? Like there's so much we can learn from a job situation that we don't actually want to be in. Where am I not showing up in other areas of my life? Where am I not taking the risks? Where am I not having the courage to do the things? If we're online and we're showing up and we're like creating a brand, creating a business, and you're not feeling like you're having the level of impact that you desire to have, where are you not in alignment with who you are and what you have to offer? Where are you doubting yourself? Where are you questioning yourself? Where are you not believing that you'll be seen? Where are you contracting? Where are you hiding? Where are you getting small? If you're out in the dating world and you're not feeling like you're meeting people who you desire to meet, where do you not believe that you will? Where do you not believe in your own magnetism and radiance and beauty? Where are you dishonoring yourself? Like there are so many lessons and pieces of gold to pick up along the way in your life. But if you don't have effective guidance, it's very difficult to do it because we have so much conditioning and our nervous systems will really attach on to safety. And so it will want to choose the safe route. And if you don't have holding to help you feel safe, to also call you on your sneaky bullshit that we all do and help you create an action plan to take steps forward to actually embody your next level identity, which is not about you being perfect, is about you shedding old ways of being and really anchoring into who you actually are. When I talk about being an identity creator, I'm talking about guiding you back to your unique magnetic vibration, because since the day you were born, you were birthed into the world, and people started conditioning you. Don't say too much, don't talk too much, don't be too loud, don't be too much, don't be too sexy, don't be the good girl, be the smart one, be the responsible one, like show up the way you're supposed to, don't, like, so many rules, right? And then you started to put yourself in the boxes that felt safe. And do you really think that you can unravel that on your own? It's going to take some holding, some guidance, some showing you of where you're doing things that you think are normal that are actually conditioned behaviors that are keeping you stuck and dimming your radiance and your magnetism. And then you get on on Instagram or on the TikTok or whatever it is, and you're like, oh, I want her life. Let me grasp onto what she's doing because I want her life. I don't want anyone to want my life. I want you to want your life. My job is to guide you to what your life is, like what is actually authentic to you. I have clients who came to me like, I can't wait to be married and have kids. It's all I want in my entire life. And then about 2 years into working with me, they're like, I actually don't want children. And I don't even know if I want to be married. That was a way of seeking safety for that client. Like, can you believe that? I've had clients who've been married and in relationships and sucking the joy out of their life, and then have come alive and the relationship ends and they're like, I feel so free. I initiate you into being alive. Initiate you into being alive with eros, with joy, with connection, and it's going to feel scary. You're actually going to probably want to push it away, and you're going to want to chase the shiny carrot because that feels a lot safer than actually doing the work to embody who you are, because then you have to have trust in yourself and in the innate wisdom within you, and that your journey is perfect for you. It's not anyone else's journey. It's your journey. It's your life. Like, can you fall in love with your life? That's a big question. Can you fall in love with you and your life? Not trying to be someone else, not trying to get the thing, but actually, where am I right now in my life? Who am I being right now in my life? So, where am I? Who am I being? What is showing up in my life? And what is the gold that I can tend from whatever is alive in my life right now? What relationships am I in that are showing me something about myself that maybe I have some boundaries to create, or maybe I need to honor myself more, or maybe there's more reverence for myself, or maybe I need to let go of relationships that don't feel in alignment? Am I in a job that feels soul sucking? And am I believing in myself that I could do something that feels more in alignment? Am I taking action? Do I have that courage? In my daily habits, who am I showing up as? Who do I think I want to be versus who am I actually being in my daily life? And is it in alignment with who I actually am at the core of my being? This is not about perfectionism. This is not about, because to go back to that Instagram woman, her life is so like controlled feeling. And that's not ever who I'm going to be. Now, the interesting thing is that I am the most boring person in my day to day life. I get up at 6, I meditate, I chant, I have fruit and beef gelatin marshmallows, I work out. Sometimes I sit in my sauna in the morning, and then I have clients and I do my day. I settle in at the end of the night. I take a bath. I lie on my infrared mat. I read. Sometimes I'll go out and listen to music. Like, I do exciting things, but I literally feel lit up. And you can feel it in my energy. Like, you can feel the lit up, like effervescent joy and like electricity through my being. So my day to day is not that different than this woman's day to day. But when you look at her, she doesn't feel alive, but she showcases a perfect life. Like, literally, her house is perfect, her travel is perfect, her husband is perfect, everything looks perfect. To me, that's not aliveness. You're not alive when things look perfect like that. Like, you might feel good in moments, or you might, but like, I want you to feel alive. And alive is going to feel a little messy sometimes. And again, that doesn't mean you can't have a very beautiful, consistent routine. It means What is flowing through you in that Kundalini energy? Like, are you alive? Do you feel lit up? Do you feel excited? Do you feel joyful? Do you feel ugh, like flowing through you? And are you connected to who you are? And obviously, not everyone's going to be all sparkly like me. Some people are a lot more like anchored and grounded in who they are. But you can still feel eros and aliveness. We have sucked that out of existence, and especially in women. It's like, how small can you be? How perfect can you be? How, and they call it graceful. There is a graceful, but there's also timid perfectionism, or there's controlled perfectionism instead of like actual power. And you can feel the difference in your body. And it's time that we come alive. And coming alive is going to ask you to do the very uncomfortable thing of learning to trust your journey and to fall in love with your journey and to fall in love with you and who you are, what you look like, what feels authentic to you, how you want to dress, who you want to be, how you want to move through the world. And I talk about it as identity creation because it's actually the shedding and the peeling away of all the things that are not you, that you have put on to maintain a certain persona or to have a perceived sense of safety. But how do we start to feel safe enough? I always call it like a nervous system that feels like it's dripping with gold. So you feel safe enough to begin to take off those masks, those personas, those defenses, those layers, those protectors, so that you can actually feel safe to have your heart wide open, to be connected to you, and to allow your journey to unfold in the most magical ways and to trust even when you're in the unknown, the vast, great unknown, without making yourself wrong for any moment in your life. And this is what we do in the ROK way. I guide you home to you in such a deep way that you feel safe to fall in love with yourself and your journey and to be the composer of your life. So, if you are desiring to have that mirror, to have a guide, to have someone who's there with you, walking side by side with you and illuminating all of the ways that you are not being you, that you're not trusting yourself, or that you're attaching on, or you're creating stories, you're not feeling safe to process your emotions and actually get honest about how you feel, to face your shame and metabolize it through your being. Because metabolizing your shame is the highest level of soul work that you'll ever do. When you avoid your shame, you avoid yourself. And no one is teaching you how to process shame like I do. I am going to help you feel safe to fall in love with not only right now, but every moment before now. To fall in love with it because it is what has led to being you. And then we fall in love with you, like fully, so fully that you just are like, you're worshiping at the altar of you in this really beautiful way of reverence and devotion. And then you're feeling safe to actually seed your way into your life, to create the most beautiful garden within it. And this is what it is to work with me. We literally can't do this alone. Like, you can watch all my videos and you will make progress. The ways that you collapse time around embodying who you actually are at a soul level, your unique magnetic vibration, when you have me with you to be like, nope, that's bullshit. Nope, you're lying. Nope, that's societal conditioning. Nope, that's unprocessed trauma. Nope, that's an emotion we need to address. Nope, that relationship's just attachment. Oh, wait, that one. Nope, there's something there. I know it feels bad. I know it feels crazy, but let's follow this thread so you can alchemize that through so that you can get to the next thing. That collapses time in your life and allows you to have a juicy, lit up, expansive, and free existence. So that calls to you. Reach out. Let's talk about different ways. I have the portal, my 6 or 12-month group mentorship program. I have the composer, which is coming up in mid-April. It's an 8-week sacred chrysalis designed to set you free. That is like the framework, right, of the ROK way. And then from there, you just get to continually blossom and expand into your most radiant magnetic vibration of you.